Like it makes things exciting when both teams have 3 apiece. Really comes down on the wire. So whoever secures it is just going to get that massive advantage. Unless you've already lost the fight, right? It's just going to pretty much secure from then on. It becomes so difficult. It's like, let's say you kill Jackie Love. He just comes back and fights you again. And then he also has GAs. You have to kill him 3 times. It's pretty ridiculous, I'll be honest. And V5 with the Baron down now feel more confident to push up. They have a big wave built up here with Rich, and they're looking to try and crash it in. I don't think they can do a ton with this though, right? They should just go for defending, clear this out.
They're catching the resets there from the Victor and the Aphelios. So a little late on this. Actually, this might just be a tier 2. Yeah, they were just a little bit late in the rotation. It's not really that impactful. It's more just a trade-off of the pressure. And I will say just very quickly before we go into our next kind of discussion about where we want to see teams going, I love this itemization coming out from Chuo. He's got himself the Abyssal Mask, that extra little bit of just damage available to his team. He knows what his role is in these fights.
Yeah, obviously, the current iteration of Abyssal Masks, I feel like it's been changed so many times.
Yes.
It, like, drains MR from people around you. So I think the maximum, it depends on your bonus health. The maximum is like 20 MR, I think, which is pretty insane when you think about it. Now, Carl's fishing for a pillar, but not sure that'll amount to much.
He'll fish and he'll catch, but it was a little bit of a red herring, as now we see Baron spawning in a minute 20, 3 minutes until that Dragon Soul, and it will be Dragon Soul. One of these teams will get a Chemtech Soul, and it's all going to come down, because even then, we saw it a couple of times where Top Esports got the Baron, but then they all died. If you get the Chem Soul and then you all die, you just come back, like we've mentioned. So you can actually turn around the fight and make it a full 5 for 5 or even a 4 for 5, whatever way works for you. So it's such a powerful tool available. There is a little war there behind enemy lines of V5. They are feeling very confident. They've got the summoners back on Photic. Everyone has summoners available to them across the board. The next fight is almost certainly going to be the last unless everybody dies on both sides. So not great guns here for Jackie Love, and he knows it, so he's going to try and get rid of those as quick as he can.
Honestly, it depends on what your goal is, right? If he's trying to like get long range AoE damage for backline, this works perfectly. You go for the AoE, you go for the lockdown. Obviously, we talk a lot about red and white being like the preferred, but I feel like the way Aphelios is playing at the moment, particularly into this long-range comp, you don't want that. You want Calibrum, you want Infernum, you want Gravitum.
PP God doesn't hit the Q. Do end up missing that one there. Carson takes a laser to the face. He's already down to just below half HP. He has to use the Crescent Guard. He was caught between a pillar and a rock, and he could not move. He was basically CC'd. That's going to be the scuttle secured as Baron is going to spawn. Both these teams now pushing, but it is Top Esports who have the push in mid lane. They're the ones that have the advantage should they want to turn for this, but it looks like V5 want to decide to go for the Baron.
We're just hovering on the flank in the Chem Fog. They haven't spotted him yet, but it cuts pretty easily. A team switch side, and Knight just keeps trying to harass and poke over the wall. Looks like V5 will just back away, circle around, get on their side of the map. Just feels so tense, especially with the Chem Fog there, having to play around it. It's such a... It warps the game so much, right? In terms of having to respect these flanks or respect someone pushing in. Both teams just going to reset, though. It's 1 minute until that Dragon... And you see pings coming out. They know the enemy team's reset, so maybe they try and rush this. It could be risky, though.
Rapid fire cannon was just finished up there for Jackie Love. There is a ward, so they know this is happening. V5 do not realize they are sitting on vision. This could be absolutely huge for Top Esports. They should predict. They now down 6,000 HP. They're going to try and go for the Xiaopeng. Not quite here. There is the box going down. The Baron has been secured, and they get themselves out. They can reset. They have done the heist. They have 30 seconds to get back on the map, though, because the soul is coming.
Yeah, they won't have vision there. Remember how hard it is to move through the Chem Fog. Instantly, Top Esports, they don't go towards the Dragon. They go towards the Chem Fog. They want to set up there. They want to make it incredibly difficult for V5 to push through. Baron's nice, but Chem Soul is so much more, and V5 might have just thrown away their chances. They're going to try and push through.
Here we go. They're going to try and get them away from this vision. They know they're not going for the Dragon just yet. It's not quite just spawn. They are going to find Xiaopeng, who has to flash away. He was seeing a lot of soldiers of Shurima running towards him, and he knew he was not a member of that state, so he had to get himself away. The Dragon going down so quickly. It's secured. That is the Chem Dragon secured by Top Esports. It's a trade of the Baron for the Chem Soul, and I feel like Top Esports are going to be so happy with that.
When you ask, was it worth it? The answer is absolutely not. Top Esports now with the Chemtech Soul. They are not confident going.
Baby God! He's gotten caught and he's been ignited. He's going to try and keep himself alive. He's dead. He knows he is. He's going to try and delay for as long as he can. They invest so much to get him, but he just wasn't able to get his recall off. And now you're 5v4 on the map for about 40 seconds.
The big thing is, right, is that Baron isn't in the hands of Top Esports. Baron is the thing they need to take towers to push in to break the base, so they don't have that. But the thing is, Baron runs out. The Chemtech Soul doesn't. Top Esports have it for the rest of the game, and it's going to make fights so much more difficult to play. You burst out Jackie Love, you one-shot Knight, it doesn't matter. He comes back, he still unloads his combo. Yes, it does a little bit less damage, but who really cares at that point? You still have so much value. Team fights now just became incredibly difficult for V5.
And look at V5 as well, and specifically look at Photic. Boots are gone, Runans is in. He is as full build can get right now. Photic is the carry. Photic is the person you need to be keeping a hawk eye on in these fights. If he can get resets, if he can get excited, that's where V5 can come into it. But this becomes so much more difficult for the side of V5, like you said, because Top Esports can just jump in.
Machine, that's it. They gave them Chem Soul, so double the resets.
More resets, let's go! But again,
it's the strat, but
it's,
yeah,
I mean, you gotta take the wins where the wins come in. But we are getting to 42 minutes into this game. Gold means nothing. It is so close in this game that it's all about this next team fight. You have damage on both sides. You have summoners on both sides, except for the flash from PP God. PP God's Xiao Peng as well. So one flash not available for either side. And we have seen in previous series that yes, the Chem Soul is very, very broken, but if you don't utilize it correctly, you will just not get any value out of it.
Yeah, if you get picked, it has no value, right? It only has value in a team fight when people can, like, come back to life and then fight. If you're just dying, like, sure, you come back to life for a few seconds, but it doesn't really accomplish anything. So they have to be cautious. If someone oversteps, if someone overstays, they will still end up going down. Chem Soul is kind of irrelevant in that regard.
Baron buff has subsided 3 minutes until that buff spawns again, but this time around it's Photic getting hit by the Moonlight Vigil. That is basically just to get him away from the turret.
The zoning ult.
Yeah, zoning ultimate. In fairness, it did do its job. We now wait for the next big bucks. 2 minutes 40 seconds Baron, 3 minutes 15 till the Elder Soul. As we can see, V5, they feel confident right now to try and just catch people out. And again, we're seeing this around, not around objectives, but around these mid lane turrets or even just turrets in general. V5 feel like they have the advantage. But Rookie nearly half health with a laser. That was the end of it.
Yeah, they're going to give him the red buff so just heal him up over time. Oh,
nice. Photic, you don't have much protection, but he does have the Dark Passage, and now Top Esports feel like they have an opportunity. There is not a lot to do. They have to use the Shrima's or the Shirelia's Revelry to get everybody out, and now Top Esports, they're on the front foot.
Man, it's just such an ebb and flow back and forth. Both teams pushing and pulling. You have someone goes and catches a side wave, then comes back, but really at this point, the gold is meaning less and less and less. Experience is meaning less as well, right? Level 18 for Rich, Rookie, Photic. On the other side, Zoom, Knight, both level 18. Only Jackie Love out of those main carries not hit that point yet. But things just feel so tense down the wire, right? We're 44 minutes into the game. It's still game on, right? There's still a whole series to play after this.
We haven't finished the best of 3 yet.
Yeah, and these teams have still put the roll into it, and it really does come down to those critical moments. Knight coming back on the map, still hasn't picked up his final Zhonya's to round out his build. Now it's a minute 15 on the Baron, and then after that 2 minutes on that Elder. Had a lot of stalling, a lot of back and forth, a lot of pushing and pulling, a lot of picking and going forwards and backwards, and now it is the objective. And the thing is, this Chem Soul, massively powerful for Top Esports, but there's still the range issues of V5. You need to get close to them before you can start popping out your damage.
This is where both teams are going to start to position themselves. Rookie! Uses the Emperor's Divide and goes immediately into stasis. They can't quite get on top of him when he has to flash. He will get himself away, but Karsa being 1v1 by Jackie Love. Rookie, the man that's the pillar, the foundation of this team, makes an incredibly rare mistake.
And the perfect situation is, right, if you're on the Baron already, V5 have to come into you, right? They have to push forwards, and they keep waiting for that hiding in the chem fog. And you look, whenever the vision's switching, they just don't see anything over there.
Chem fog makes it so hard to walk around. You can see with the Graviton, Photic cannot walk forward. He cannot be aggressive, knowing that that gun is on Jackie Love. They will, however, separate Top Esports, and Rich is looking for a fight. He's looking to see if he can get himself around. He has himself the Void Staff as well. He is going to 100-0 pretty much anybody, and now they know this is a 5v2. Effectively, there's the Moonlight Vigil. It lands, though, on the Photic. They're trying to jump straight on top of this. It's going to be Rich seeing if he can do something, but it's a fight on 2 fronts. Chaos Storm comes down, the Gwen pushing forward, and now it's V5 who are caught out. It's V5 who don't have themselves in the right order, and they're getting deleted. They're getting picked off and taken out. Joe will be killed off, and they will get him back into zombie form. But Karsa lives, and now it's a 4v4. This is so close. I think the important thing is, though, PP God is still alive. You still have the support for the side of V5.
I don't understand how Karsa is in melee range of Jackie Love and somehow managed to walk away. That just shouldn't be allowed, but it felt like Top Esports had the advantage. They killed Rich. Rich really not having done much in this one.
TP. They're going to still go for this one. Knight coming back in. He's going to try and join the rest of his team. He's now found himself in the chem fog. He has been spotted. He needs to back himself away. They know he's not with his team right now. And you got Zoom zooming in himself. It's an Elder Drake. This is the game-ending buff if you are able to get it. It's a 4v4. Rich has TP. Joe does not. So that will be Joe late to this party. Knight gets caught out, forced to flash away. The Gwen goes in, is immune, and tries to get the needlework to do some work. There is the soldiers, though, putting in work, putting in damage. Elder has spawned and is now the focus of both these teams. TP comes in. It's a 5v4. These pillars are just wreaking havoc right now for the side of Top Esports. V5 continue the Elder Drake. They're going to try and burst this one down. They get the scuttle, but nobody cares. Now, in a 5v4, can you do this? Road is coming in. He'll have the Glacial Fissure. No flash, no exhaust. They go in. They're trying to go for the fight. There's the Emperor's Divide. They get one. They get two. There's so many GAs. There's so many Zonyas. And now Rich has to get himself back out. He Shuriken flips away and keeps himself alive. Reset. Elder down to 4,000 HP. The Knight is dead, but the Elder has been taken. Top Esports get the objective. They get the fight, and they will eventually be able to push in mid.
They have the most powerful boss in the game. They got both of them. They managed to secure it. Xiaopeng does well on his smite again. V5 made it close. They nearly had it. They managed to get Knight, but they don't secure the objective. That's the critical thing. That is the difference maker. Top Esports just going to be able to push this in. It's 3 members of V5. There's no way they can hold up against the power of the Elder and the Chem Soul.
It's all about resets. Photic has to be the man. Photic has to be the guy to do this. You got Rich and PP God there to support him, but he has to be the carry. Trying to see if he can do it. They don't have minions right now, and it's very difficult to try and take these all down because Photic, like I said, is doing serious amounts of damage. They're going to push in now with a final wave. This is it. Photic, stand up or step out. He's going to get himself away, but he gets jumped on straight away. That's it. Game over. Nothing he can do. Nexus turrets fall. We will actually get 2 more kill on Rich, but they have the Chem Soul. He gets a triple kill. Can he end the game? He's going to spawn back up. They need to CC him immediately. They get him. Oh my God! What? What?
They managed to do it. Rich, after a whole game of doing barely anything, manages to get the 2 kills. They respawn with the Chem Soul, and they still don't end the game. Top Esports have Chem Soul, have Elder, and they still couldn't end. Knight now to defend solo. There is a wave, but this is a Victor. Very hard to stop. I don't think they can end off this push. They'll try and get as much done as they can. I honestly think they should just go for Baron at this point.
There's the Chaos Storm to try and just keep away the wave, and it's actually going to keep Photic away as well. Yeah, they're going to turn away for the Baron. This game is not over, but you have not got TPs just yet. This game is still going. 49 minutes, and it will go well past 50. Let's have a look at the replay here, because Rich is just ridiculous in this fight. He does so much for his team.
I think they just disrespect the Akali, right? They start getting low, and that's when the R2 does so much damage, right? Jinx is chunking them out. Rich finds an opportunity, dashes in, gets the Q over, dashes back, sends them all into Chem Soul. The thing is, in Chem Soul, they can still damage the Nexus, so I thought that'd be enough. Xiaopeng, look how low it is. He needs 1 auto. PP God times this perfectly. I think maybe he even had a bit of timing.
2 autos.
I think the pillar might have blocked him from being in range to auto it. It was down the wire, right? Really so incredibly close. But V5 hold on for now. It's still Top Esports with the Elder Soul. Everyone's items are flowing in, right? We got full build on Rookie, full build on Knight now. We got full build on Zoom, on Rich. Everyone's got full build apart from the jungle support. We don't care about them, right? It's all about these carries. And now, Baron's in V5 hands, right? Elder's not for another 3 minutes. We might just get another stalemate.
1 HP. I literally just checked it. 1 HP. And he got an auto attack off. Xiaopeng was 8. He needed 2. He got the 1 off, and then he died. He didn't have enough AD to finish it off, and that was the big difference. V5 still in this game. They're still pushing back bot side. They have the Baron buff for another minute 40 seconds. We are well past gold meaning anything, but for whatever it's worth, it's dead even. There's nothing between these two teams. Now, the inhibitors are being threatened on top esports side. This Jinx is pushing in. Gwen is going back, but she's going to be found. They're going to be found. Rich knows exactly what's going on, so they know it's a 4v4, but look at Rich in the bot side. They're trying to trade this one back and forth. The needlework will be used, as will the Moonlight Vigil, and Gwen has to leave. They can no longer fight this Akali, and this is a really bad situation now for top esports.
Yeah, I mean, they are trapped in their base, right? The Gwen's been forced away, but if Zoom resets, he can TP flank, right? They know Rich isn't anywhere near. I said the big thing was getting on the flanks, approaching them from behind from multiple directions. This is a perfect setup. They have wards that are deep. We'll see if they try and make this happen. Zoom is about to reset, and I think they know. I think they know they can't risk it. If Zoom ends up behind them, it could be a disaster. They will back away, and it looks like that's going to be the end of the Baron push. Oh. Thing is, Knight had TP as well. If Zoom got to the Nexus, he could have just thrown... I'm assuming he had a ward when he went for that play. Probably would have been illogical to go with it without one. Now. I mean, in his trinket slot, I mean, yes, true, but I think he actually has a blue trinket, if I'm reading that correctly. I'm not quite sure if he would have been able to have that, but... I don't... It's so hard to tell, honestly, when it's blurred out. It's on cooldown. But anyway, everyone's on full build. Everyone's done. Like this demonic embraces now. It's done. Like, it's tense as hell. Take a breather, everyone. Do not leave your seat. This is totally fine. This is why I love this league. This is the level of play that I have been waiting to see all year. In a couple of seconds, we'll see Zoom's trinket come up. I think it might be the blue trinket. It's really hard to see when the color's gone. No, it's yellow. Yellow trinket. See, dude, you're dead right. You're dead right. I concede to you, my friend. And now we're looking at elixirs. Now we're looking to see it's all about execution, as we can see Photic playing with fire. Such, like, he is so ballsy. He just steps up, takes a laser. Like, I'm cool. Look at a lantern. Like, come on, man. You have flash. The confidence. How does top esports have a chem soul, right? And they haven't won. But yeah, as you said, 30 seconds on the Elder. V5 have control of the area. They want to maintain that. They want to keep their backline safe. But top esports, they want to force their way in. They're contesting them in priority. They want to find a way to push forward to see if they can manage it. Watch those carries go. Yeah, watch it. But also important to recognize as well, there is no inhibitor down now. Mid. Rich, they're going mid. They're going to try and just tank this one up. They just can. They can tank this up and end this game. Running. They're going to run it. They're not even going for the mid lane tower. They're just saying, you're separated. We know we can go for this one right now. It's going to be the Glacial Fissure coming down. They take away the inhibitor. They're going to go straight for the Nexus. They're going to try and just end this right here, right now. The victor is dead, but the Nexus has fallen. Top esports pull the trigger, and that is only game one of this best of three. Top esports 1-0 up. What a confidence play. You just run past them into the base. And, like, I can understand if the Nexus was, like, isolated. Like, if the Nexus was open, I would understand that play is, like, standard. But the inhib is up as well, and they just charge in. They don't care. They take down the inhibitor. They take down the Nexus. And then, obviously, because they have the Chem Soul, it's so hard to stop them. Even if you kill them, you got to kill them twice. But, my lord. Just taking a breather. What a hectic game. Stay hydrated. What a... I feel like analysis kind of goes out the window at those points. I feel like win cons and all that stuff like kind of dissolve when you get that late in the game. At the end of the day, top esports had managed to get the soul, and that was a significant event because it really made those late game team fights hard for V5 to have much of a chance in. They still gave it, right? But it makes it very difficult when you know you kill someone, they come back, right? And they can burst out the damage. Look at Karsa's damage, by the way. Karsa did not. Again, that's the trouble. But it doesn't matter. You're a pillar bot, right? Yeah, that's the big thing. But look at Photic's damage. Look at like we say like 32,000, 23,000 on Rich. That's pretty good. But when you're looking at 44,000 damage, what? Oh my. I mean, it's just he kept rapid fire. Every time he had a rapid fire proc, it's like you just fire an auto every time. But man, we said both teams have strong scaling elements. It really came down to the scale. Anyone who had Gathering Storm is feeling like an absolute winner after that one. That is the game you take it for. But yeah, very back and forth. We obviously saw top esports finding that early momentum, and then it kind of went in the other direction quite heavily, got quite messy. But the critical thing is securing those dragons and their control of the area. We had the chem fog made it so hard to push in, and then as a result we saw some questionable decisions, right? The big thing for me that stood out was V5 opting to go for the Baron and losing the chem soul for it. And that's the thing, is we saw Barons, we saw Elder Dragons, we saw all these buffs come and go. The chem soul remained, and at the end of the day, That's why it's so strong, because it's there permanently, and it is, quite frankly, broken.
Yeah, I mean, it was why Top Esports felt like they could just run it down, you know, in a good way. They could run it down in a positive sense, but we will send it to a break. Get yourself some water, use a bathroom break. We are coming back because we are going to have another game in this series, and if it's anything like game one, I am excited. We'll see you guys very soon.
Yeah, I mean, JDG just kind of got stomped by EDG, but I gotta say, LPC looked pretty good. Like, he brought out the Samira and actually got a couple of solo kills on Viper.
Yeah, and on Samira of all things as well. Like, I can't really get my head around the meta. I don't suppose you have any tips or tricks that you could help me out with.
Oh yeah, this guy, hang on. This bad boy.
That's a kid's toy.
It has value, bear with me. So this is what us color casters use to figure out the meta. Do not tell the other play-by-plays. This is the secret unit that we have to use. Alright, let's start off with an easy one, right? Where does Caitlyn go?
Bot.
That's right. In the bot.
Nice.
Alright, now, where does Thresh go?
Support.
That's right! Right there beside Kate. Let's go. Alright, we're 2 for 2 now. This is a bit of a tough one. Where does Tryndamere go?
In the top lane?
That's right! In the mid lane!
Yeah, boy.
Alright, nice job so far. Now, next one is Zed. Where does Zed go?
Mid lane.
That's right! Jungle! And this last one is my favorite. Where does Addy go?
Mid lane.
That's right! Top lane! He's a world champion, you know!
Nice. That looked good.
tell my lover not to stop. Oh, I don't wanna recover. Believe me, I know what I want. I can show you the way. Pretend not to me, babe. I feel that you are here to stay. Can you focus on me this time? Even though you're back in line, I just need more time. Cause I wanna fly high underneath the stars. Till the sun goes so high. But baby, I was waiting for this day to come. You and me together alone. I only have eyes for you. Yeah, tell me not to stop. Oh, show me how it's done. I'll show you how it's done, baby. Just listen to me. Believe me, I know what I want. I can show you the way. Pretend not to me, babe. I feel that you are here to stay. You just need more time, cause I wanna fly high underneath the stars. Till the sun goes down. I wanna fly high underneath the stars. Till the sun goes
Guess who's back to blow your mind? But let me warn you one last time. Guess who's back to change your life? But it's not gonna be just fine. Whoa, I've got you under my spell tonight. Whoa, we're both heading to hell tonight. So don't ever listen to a word they say. It's time that you found out that I'm gonna get my way. Won't light it up, then I'll burn it down. I'm gonna make you feel like you're invincible when the one's around. I'm gonna build you up, and then I'll strike you down. Cause you're about to know it's nothing personal. Sometimes good people do bad things.
我是觉得炸人英雄还算是不错的，因为他打一些体系阵容就可以百搭，然后这英雄就没装备，就是很难推打塔，就他没装备也能很难推打塔。
Ziggs is good, but Ziggs was not what we're going to talk about in that game. Welcome back, one and all, to the LPL. We are coming into Game 2 of this best of 3 between V5 and Top Esports. I am Mushy, and after taking a nice break, he is Ox. We are calming ourselves a little bit down, getting ready for this next pick and ban. But before we do that, we got to talk about our man of the Rift. It could have been anyone. In a personal sense, we said it just before the came back off a break. It was the Chemsoul. But the actual man of the Rift is Jackie Love on this Aphelios. honestly, just having these late game insurances meant that they were able to make that kind of a play, but the goal difference at the end, not exactly ideal.
Yeah. I mean, it felt like Photic was really this big force to be reckoned with on V5, but JackeyLove finding windows, finding opportunities. And it's like the play style of Aphelios when you're playing into a long-range comp is not like the old sit there, hope everyone runs into you. It's like you dash forward with the Gale Force, look to burst people out, and man, that was a long game.
I mean, to say the least, that was a long game. But again, you can see both AD carries were the catalyst. We hyped up the mid laners. It wasn't really a lot to do with the mid laners. It was more to do with the Aphelios and the Jinx, something that we are getting very used to right now. And you can see already just Photic having to back away meant that JackeyLove could keep going strong. And yes, Rich got the triple kill right at the end that literally defended the base, but it does feel like Rich wasn't really in this conversation for a lot of that game. So I want to see them maybe bring him into this series a little bit more, bring him into this game a little bit more, because it did feel like he wasn't doing a lot until the end where he defended the base, which I suppose is the only important thing.
Yeah, but you got to think about it. If he'd been doing more earlier, would it have gotten to that point? And
True.
I think that's the main takeaway from this, right? It's so hard to break down such a long game because so many things happened at it, and really a lot of the early game things kind of became irrelevant. But the critical thing is, like, in terms of dragging stacking, V5 made some questionable decisions, like prioritizing the Baron when they had like 30 seconds to the Dragon's Soul. A little bit questionable, and we saw the impact that had because the Soul meant top esports could just charge in the base and end, and there wasn't really much that could be done. Also, it makes you ask questions like there was the Akali we questioned, the Azir. What didn't feel that impactful in that game? I feel like,
Trundle,
I mean, Trundle, I
maybe.
don't actually mind the Trundle because Trundle neutralizes Zins out early, right? And
True.
then the pillar is actually quite a hard piece of terrain to play around, right? I know people are going to look at the damage and be like, oh, he did 4,000 damage or whatever, if it was even that. But it's like, the pillar is a hard piece of terrain to sort of play around. And there's a lot of champions, like, imagine if he was playing Lee Sin. In a lot of scenarios, you might have done even less, right? But
Yeah,
at the end
true.
of the day, like, the Azir is like a late game scaling carry, and it just felt like it wasn't that impactful. So we'll see how things develop. Top esports now on blue side, and they're going to ban away the Trundle, so clearly taking issue with it. With that banned, I could see them just prioritizing Zin's our first pick, honestly, and it looks like they are going to do so. And then it goes over to V5, and they can look like, do you want to go like a Aphelios Thresh here, right? You're confident in the Thresh. Do you want to stick with the Jinx and go Jinx Thresh? You have options in that case, but we'll see what they end up going for.
Yeah,
If they want to
I think it is. I think it is just. I think you have to go back to it. I thought Photic had a fantastic game, regardless of the result. I think he played those team fights as well as he possibly could. And again, I still think that PP got it, despite a couple of missed positions. Had a pretty decent time on the Thresh. They're not going to look to prioritize this time around. No, they're going to give Rookie the victor. So they're opting into a much more favorable matchup into the mid lane, and possibly giving over that Thresh Aphelios into the bot.
Yeah, it feels like they wanted a bit more in terms of what you're off in the mid lane. I feel like we could see top esports just go Aphelios first here. The Corki is something in mind, right? If they let the Corki go to second rotation, they'll probably get banned. And I think Rookie may be feeling himself that he didn't have as much impact as he would wanted to compared to what he could have had on the Victor. So we'll see. I think Aphelios is going to be the lock-in, and it comes down to this one, right? Do you want the Corki more? Do you want the Thresh more? I feel like if you leave the Thresh open, V5 can just snatch it up, but they also need to think about they want a jungle pick. So see what they end up opting for. They end up locking in the Corki, so safe mid laner, right? Not gonna have as much pressure early as the Victor, but definitely scales extremely well. Long range threat as well. And V5, you want to take Viego? Do you want to take a jungle pick now, or do you want to end up going for the Thresh to give that safety net? And honestly, you have a Victor and you have a Jinx, so that could be a thing. But actually, they're opting to go for Nautilus. They want an aggressive pick to punish the lane matchup, offer more threat to things like Corki. I think you just ban. I mean, they know it. A lot of supports
Thresh
are willing to pick Nautilus into Thresh, but I still don't think you want to give it over to top esports. Top esports, you can ban Viego, right? You can ban a range of junglers. The Rek'Sai, which you banned last time, is now left open, so a lot of options there. You could also look towards top laners. Potentially Gwen could be a concern. Remember, V5 get choice of pick on that fourth pick, but also can counter pick if they want.
Yeah, I think that's the big thing right now. They're going to start banning away junglers. I would not be surprised to see the Viego banned away alongside the Talon. I still think, I 100% agree with you. I feel like you have to take away that Thresh. No, they're going to get rid of the Rakans. So Thresh, very much an option available. Maybe they're just saying that, look, Zhuo, we don't feel like you're the problem here. We don't feel like your Thresh is going to be the big difference maker. And honestly, I think for most people's, idea of JackeyLove, if JackeyLove's away from the fight, then no one's really going to care about you know, kind of what he's able to do, because he's not, you know,
Yeah.
running into your face at 1,000,000 miles an hour.
That's really weird. The top esports batting the Jace. That kind of just sets V5 to pick that Gwen in that 4th pick, right? They
Yes.
don't have to pick the jungler now, 'cause it's going to come later. The Kennen is another thing that we've seen into the Gwen. Obviously, Gwen, I think, is still okay with that matchup. You can kind of tank the poke out with Doran Shield and Second Wind. But in terms of support, you know, Nautilus is picked into Thresh a lot because you can punish the matchup. Also, when Aphelios gets in range, you just ult him, right? But still, like, even matchup regardless, I still think Thresh is the pick here. If you want to really punish in favor of top esports, Leona is a good pick into Nautilus. Can obviously go toe-to-toe with them in melee range. So we'll see what top esports want. If they want more engage, if they want more lane power, it'll be Leona. If they want the safety net, it'll be the Thresh.
Yeah, I will say for Zhuo, it is the last time he did play the Thresh was against WE. It was the one game they lost in that particular series, so not
Yep, he
feeling
lost
super
the game.
confident.
Never pick it again.
Yeah, one game lost, never again. It's not good enough. But yeah, like, you know, goes with the Leona this time around and looking to just go like for like in that hard engage in the bot side. And now for Karsa, what does he want to go into it? I actually quite like the Poppy coming into this. It stops a lot of the dashes and escapability from the Corki and even the Xin Zhao from getting on top of people. I actually really love this pickup from Karsa.
Yeah, and Poppy's a weird one because we don't see it too much, honestly. But there's a lot of matchups where it's like specifically really good with how it interacts with them. Like Xin Zhao needs to dash in. You can block that. It can obviously knock a Kennen away, which is very useful. You can also just charge into him and pull him away with you. Good against the Leona Zenith Blade as well. I don't think this isn't a draft from top esports where I look at it and say, oh my god, Poppy's amazing here. But there is some use for it, and we'll see how it ends up going. Might struggle to really deal with Dracula. But either way, right, V5, they have Photic on the Jinx again. They have Rookie on the Victor. They have the Gwen in the top lane. I think they're pretty comfortable in that regard. But once again, both teams, a lot of scaling options. However, top esports with the Xin Zhao in the early game definitely puts them in for a good setup. They can definitely start to facilitate things off the back of that.
And I think the big thing as well you're looking at right there is that the Kennen flanks with a Slicing Maelstrom can be massive. You don't have protection for Photic on the same scale as you did last game. You don't have the Lantern. You don't have ways of getting him like 1,000,000 miles away from the enemy carries. So if Zoom can get behind the enemy lines, get a TP flank or even just a regular flank and jump on top of these very immobile, you know, AD carry and mid laners, it could be disastrous for V5. Top esports, as you said, it's about those early game jungle moves from Xiaopeng and making this work with the scaling of the Corki and the Aphelios. We'll see how it works for both of these teams. Both AD carries back on their respective picks as they were in game one, but the composition is just slightly different. We're going on to Rift. Where do you want to see the early aggression, if you want to see any at all, or are we expecting like game one, just farm it out, trade off the games?
I want to see activity, right? From top esports, I am looking towards bot lane, right? You have Leona, who's really easy to set up with. Aphelios has more pressure than Jinx and laning phase. And you have a Xin Zhao. You should make things happen in the bot lane. On this side for V5, I think it's kind of a factor of mitigating pressure. But you're going to have mid priority. Oh, Rich.
Rich, flash in on top of him, and that's him dead. Yep, no flash on the Gwen, and that's first blood going over the Corki. Probably not the most climactic or, you know, very anticlimactic start to this game. And yeah, just didn't respect the fact that a Leona level 1 is just very powerful.
Yeah, and given any early advantage of the Corki, definitely not what you want to do. I think he can actually just reset and buy a tier right now. Yeah, he's gonna. So, oh, it's the perfect start. You have the AD off the longsword as well as the triple pots, and then you also have the tier. So it's actually pretty substantial overall, that start, and a mistake from Rich there. We asked the question at the start of the series, Rich or poor, and it's looking a little bit on the poorer side right now. But yeah, top esports, I want to see them playing towards bot. I think that's the avenue you could really look to punish. V5, I think Karsa, I think, you know, if you can sort of establish vision control around mid, Rookie can spread that advantage to the side lanes.
Well, great start there for top esports. A fantastic start here for Knight, and we'll see what he's able to make use now as he has that early scaling, early stacking of the tier. Means he's going to be able to have his Mana Mune and Mirror Mana very, very early in this matchup. Thumbs up in the bot side. Photic got an auto attack off, but yeah, having the reset and start off on the red means that they knew, and they had vision on it, so they knew exactly what was going on. They get themselves back onto the map, and it means that the early push does belong to the side of V5. So again, lots to talk about in terms of this, you know, setup for everybody. I want to see what Rich can do. Like we mentioned, wasn't really that relevant up until about 40 minutes. We do see a hook coming in. Droll going to take a little bit of a harass on that bot side. But yeah, I want to see Rich do a little bit more. Unfortunate start to the game, but he is not going to lose a lot out of it, so he should still be able to have some kind of impact.
And I think Rich needs to be like a relevant threat, right? Because if Corky's just able to poke your backline without really being threatened too much, I could see top esports really being far and ahead in terms of team fights. But if Rich can start to be a threat on the backline, find flank angles, find good opportunities to approach, that's when it suddenly becomes like the dynamic shift that becomes problematic. So see how that ends up developing. Right now, the jungler's just kind of clearing through. Zoom has this set up with a pretty stacked wave, but I'm not sure they'll be able to get there in time to dive or act on it. It should just crash in and Rich will be able to pick it up.
We have to come back to what this game is all about. You know, we mentioned at the top of this series that Rookie and Knight are the big guys coming into this one. I think our expectations have shifted a little bit towards Photic and Jackie Love, but I think that's just the natural progression when you have these AD carries that look for resets, that look to try and just make those big AoE ultimates make, you know, the most out of their teams. But right now, V5 will still be looking to Rookie. We saw in their last series how pivotal and how honestly just straight up important he was to them getting that win. He basically put the team on his back and was able to make this work. And we looked at the replays. We had a bit of, you know, clips from him as well. It was something that he just was piloting so perfectly in that last series they played against RA. So I want to see him do it again.
You see them fishing for a play on the bot side. Jackie Love steps up too far. They may just end up going for it. They're looking now.
Yeah, they're going to go in. The flash has been burned. They're going to get the Poppy in there with the steadfast presence. That's going to be the kill going over to Carso. They'll get the reset. They're going to be able to get Zhuo underneath the tower. Can they tank this up? One more auto attack would do it, but they're not able to get him. They tank up quite a bit. They will get all the summoners out of that bot side, but still, one for none. It's still advantage to V5.
Yeah, they managed to capitalize on Jackie Love, catch him out, and both summoners burned, so they saw advantage. And I said I wanted to see Xiaopeng showing up bot lane first. I want to see him making the impact. Carsa ends up being the first one to reach him with a nice little curve around play, because the thing is with Poppy, she's only ever useful if you're behind a target in terms of setting up ganks, right? If you're either behind them or you can knock them into a wall. If you're running straight at them, it's just never going to work because you'll just knock them obviously deeper. And we can see that's kind of how it panned out here. You see BB God makes the right decision where he waits as long as he can. He flashes to auto. Jackie Love flashes as well, but because he's been autoed, he's already rooted, allows him to follow up. And then BB God still has the dredge line, but Leona just a little bit too tanky.
Just a little bit too tanky. Couldn't quite get the kill down. And look at the sword shop that top esports have got themselves. Plenty of long swords there in their inventories. And look, that's the difference. The assist versus the death means that you go back to lane as Jackie Love with 2 long swords and a dagger versus a fully completed High Noon Quiver here for Photic. And we'll keep an eye out on those item builds.
Quiver.
Is it High Noon Quiver or is it just
Noon Quiver?
Oh, my bad.
I like that better. I like High Noon Quiver better, right?
It just sounded a little bit more epic, doesn't it?
Yeah, you know, when you have the race, like when you have the High Noon skin for like Lucian, it should be the High Noon Quiver.
Should be, just for any like High Noon Senna, High Noon Hecarim. I don't know why you'd be building on Hecarim, but why not?
Honestly, if anyone built Noon Quiver and Hecarim in my game, I would totally respect it.
Yeah.
Clearly that person's trying some stuff. But
they're limit testing. They're experimenting. They're the people who come up with the Chem Tank Akali builds. You know, not me.
Dude, Gale Force Hecarim, man.
That would be kind of scary, to be honest. Just having a horse just like gallop that little bit more to you, like just get on top of your face would be a little bit scarier, shall we say. But again, coming back into the game, 6 minutes onto the clock. It is a Ocean Dragon, the first one to be going for. I want to see FG's is the Poppy around the Drake. I don't know if they're starting it up just yet, or maybe they're just clearing the vision, but with the pressure they have on bot side,
yeah, they have prio bot, they have prio mid. They should just be able to move on this and capitalize. There's nothing really to take on the other side, so V5 can take this, but the problem is because they're using up the prio essentially. If you think of it like a resource, they might be slower on the reset to go towards Herald. And already with Scott on the top side, Xiaopeng, I think you can look towards that one. You see top lane, seen Doom have a pretty solid advantage there, built up CS lead over Rich and has gone for this reset. Rookie, I mean, this is kind of what, this is why the Victor into the Corky matchup, the Victor's really comfortable because you can apply that pressure on lane and just chunk him out whenever he steps up.
Yeah, you can chunk him out, get him into a position where he either has to go back or just cannot contest at any real objective. We are going to see Xiaopeng, though, recognizing that the dragon was taken very early. It's going to take a very long time for Karsa to do that, so gets himself a red buff steal, has his upgraded smite now, so up to 900. Good for him. Still one more stack there for Karsa, so not quite going to have it just yet. And we are seeing Knight very little mana, and his health bar dwindling, so he's going to have to use the Valkyrie, the last of his mana pool, to get himself out and get himself back onto the map as quick as he possibly can. No teleport, but not really that big of a deal. No real objective to take for at least a little bit.
Yeah, 30 seconds on the Herald. We'll see if teams opt to make a move towards it and whether the supports can find an opportunity to roam up. Right now, you can see Joe and Jackie Love are the ones with the priority in the bot lane. And you kind of have to respect it as Nautilus, right? If you go in against the Leona, her Q is on such a short cooldown, she will just win the extended trade, right? You really have to burst someone out quickly to come out ahead. But for now, they're kind of just respecting that. So I think you push this in. You can have Jackie Love reset and buy if he wants to, but the main thing is that Joe can now reset and head toward the top side if you want to prioritize that Herald now. You can see recalls coming in from Knight potentially, because he will have his pack. Actually, Carson might be caught here.
He's a little bit. He has got the ultimate there, so should be able to use it to try and get people away from him. Yep, pop. Will a bit of whack-a-mole, keeps himself safe. Just like a lot of damage on his way out, but wasn't really in any real danger. Had the flash in the back pocket should he need it, so able to use that hammer to very good effect.
Yeah, and I mean, it's not really anything burnt, right? You just burn your ultimate. He's a little bit low, but as a jungler, you just use smite to get back up if you need it. And generally, both teams just taking this one slow as you go, right? Trying to build up any incremental advantages. Top lane's got a pretty big test lead. Mid lane, Rookie is substantially ahead of Knight. And it is, to an extent, expected in the matchup that he'll have a lead, but this is quite substantial for how early in the game it is.
Yeah, 20 CS is pretty huge. And we can see why the side of V5 had such a priority on this for Rookie. And now, with being able to push out into the bot side, they're getting pressure in this bot lane. That's going to be a turret play or two. And even PP God saying, look, I'm level 6. You're not, Leona. I can continue to push up on this, but there is a package available for Knight. Won't have it synced up with the Dragons, so you're already in the bold corner in Ox's books. You got to play this very carefully now, Knight. You're on a thin line.
It's fine, it's fine. I don't mind. The first one syncs with the Rift Herald because the 8-minute Rift Herald is really important, and then you like resync it with the Dragon later. But either way, I like this play from top esports, right? They send Xiaopeng up to the top side, and then the standard response from V5 is, okay, they're going for Herald. We will aggress on the bot lane, but the package dissuades that, right? Jackie Love and Joe back off a little bit, but then they know the package is backing them up. They don't miss that much. They only lose one plate, and they manage to get the Herald on the end. So it's a smart play that garners them that advantage. It doesn't give V5 room to really capitalize, and now we get to see where Xiaopeng will look to use the Herald.
Yeah, see that pressure. My mind took a little bit of a lag there. I thought Photic was level 8, and I was like, wait, what? How is he 2 levels ahead? This makes no sense, but wasn't to be. Just my eyes deceiving me and my mind telling me what I want to see. You create your own situations, your own narratives. As we now see, with a minute 30 until that dragon spawn, it is a Hex Dragon, so we'll have the choice between a Mountain, Infernal, a Hex Drake, and a Cloud for the next fight. So V5 setting themselves up around there, seeing if they can get some deep vision. And honestly, getting those first 2 early Drakes could be crucial. We saw how pivotal the last, Dragon Soul was, and how important it was for top esports to be able to take that win. It could be just as impactful.
Absolutely, especially you start stacking them up early, having it at, like, getting the Dragon Soul available at an early point puts a lot of pressure on your opponent to always fight every dragon, always contest it, always make sure they're securing and not giving an opportunity. And we saw, I mean, Chem Soul is obviously an exaggerated dragon because of how broken the soul is, but even then, like, standard Dragon Souls are still pretty impactful. They're just not quite as broken as that one was and how impactful it was in that game.
Not quite as, I love all my children equally, but some more equally than others.
I don't love Chemsoul at all. And I'll flat say
But you cannot deny your child's power. That's the thing I'm getting at.
Yeah, Faith the demon, honestly.
Yeah. The Antichrist coming into the rift, and you're just like, I can't deny that they're powerful, but I don't like that they're powerful. Speaking of powerful, Knight's going to have to back away and use his TP to get back in. He's going to be a little bit late. Yeah. That's a big cooldown.
Yeah,
gone.
I mean, Rookie is just out trading him in every front in this lane. Like, consistently, every time Knight steps up, there's a laser in his face. Every single time. And it feels like Rookie is managing this so well. And, okay, in fairness, it's what we expect from Rookie, but Knight kind of struggling. And now The fact that he doesn't have that priority, the fact he has to reset and TP back in, Carlos is going to stop the start of the Dragon, and this should be an easy pickup. This is now 2 in pocket for V5. Pretty substantial advantage. And actually, if you look bot, Joe was on a reset. Bot side lean. Oh,
yeah, well, bot side lean, and we're going to see the Slicing Maelstrom used on top side. They know the Dragon was taken, so they know it's dead. Zoom flashing away, trying to see if he can stay alive, and he should be able to. There's a kill going on top side. Again, Top Esports not willing to be outdone. They're trading back. They're seeing if they can do something here. Fotic going to land it. Ooh. Oh, nice. Ruined the party. Ruins the party.
But Rich actually possibly could have killed Zoom there, right? Didn't connect with the last ult, which is a ton of damage, especially with Conquer Stack. And the last snip didn't really catch Zoom. So Zoom did a good job to dodge away from that, using his mobility well. And First Tower will go over the Top Esports simply because they have the Herald. But on the other side, V5 able to stack a lot of gold on a Photic from the fact that he's taken a lot of these plates solo. A lot of CS zoned away from Top Esports bot lane as well.
Big shift of cash going over to Top Esports. They're only about 1,000 gold lead. Very, very similar tempo to we saw in game 1. Very similar style coming out from both these sides. I will say though, Photic getting his early Kraken Slayer, has the Berserker Greaves now in the back pocket as well. We actually see the Chemtech onto Karsa as well, to Poppy.
Oh my god, why is that Chemsol again?
It is Chemsol again.
Man. You know, I will say I will say Chemsol gets a bad flack, right? And it's absolutely justified. Oh, Zoom?
Zoom is not going to be in a good spot right now. No flash, nowhere to go, and no real way to trade this one back. We'll have the Rocket Belt, and will be taken out. This should be Rookie picking up that quick kill. Xiaopeng is here, but I don't think you want to take this fight. The rest of V5 are coming in. You can see the Poppy will have a little bit of support. Xiaopeng is trading this one out. Rookie has no mana. They will not land the Crescent Guard. So Karsa loses his flash. It was very clutch and gold there for a second, but V5 will get out with the kill trade.
Yeah, so at least Xiaopeng makes them have to burn the flash, right? They're burning something for that, but Zoom just put out of position. No flash available at the time. Don't think his ult was up either, and he ends up going down to a pretty easy pickup. V5 being pretty proactive on this one, trying to make things happen, trying to lean into these side lanes where they have pressure. We'll see what they end up doing. A minute till the next Herald. I feel like whichever team gets this can use it to break down that mid lane tower, get a pretty big advantage. And we saw, you know, last game, towers taken down pretty quickly, and how that opened up the map pretty substantially.
I mean, the big thing I'm looking at right now is that mid lane gap, and it is quite literally a mid lane gap, because you not only went Hex Drinker for the Knight, who had an early kill, say the least. He's also behind in CS, but that kill for Rookie now puts into a point when that Dragon does spawn, when that Rift Herald is coming up, and they're even just going to try and burly Zoom once more. Rookie is here with Karsa, and there's not really a lot you can do here, and ooh, Karsa not quite able to get the knockback there. I saw what he was trying to do. He wasn't looking to try and catch out the Kennen with the knockback. He was looking to try and smite him, slow him down, maybe land the gravity field. Wasn't to be done, but they're getting these small little advantages. They're trying to just keep pressure away from this Kennen.
Yeah, they're trying to constantly threaten Zoom, trying to lean into Rookie and give him resources. You know, there's no objective on the map sort of when they're going for this that they're really trading off. But now, Herald's spawning, and they were just down on the bot side. Top Esports know that, so they can move in. Goal's already been taken, so they do have some vision, some element of control. We'll see how the teams approach this one. See if Top Esports end up pushing into contest. Bear in mind, they have TP available. They have the Slicing Maelstrom. Actually, there's a ward. Package available for Knight. And actually, if you can look, there's a ward just there. You can see it, top of your screen, right there. That is a Kennen TP flank ward if I've ever seen one. So I think V5 probably should just back away and accept this one's gone. The thing is, though, because package is burnt now, in a minute's time, Dragon is going to be packageless. So V5 can play for that, right? And that's third Dragon. So pretty substantial if they're able to secure a soul early. And I feel like without package, Top Esports teamfight becomes quite a bit weaker.
It really does, and with all the time and effort that Top Esports put around setting up for this Rift Herald, it means they're not going to have the same level of preparedness for this Dragon. Rookie is going to start resetting, does not have TP, and honestly, get yourself onto Soul Point. 40 seconds till that spawns. You can see already that the Top Esports are saying, look, we'll trade it, maybe even take ourselves an inhibitor turret if we decide to go for it. Zoom might be in a bit of trouble here. Now notices that there's somebody in the brush and recognizes that Rich might be a little bit isolated, but with both supports from both sides now coming in, they are just pushing in now. 20 seconds till this Dragon spawns. This is actually huge for V5 V5, they have the priority. They're the ones dictating the pace, and there aren't really many places for Top Esports to enter.
Yeah, there's not really any TP wards. That's the critical thing here. Is one of the greatest approaches Top Esports can have is a TP ward from Kennen, allowing him to get in. No real passage for that. Oh, they're looking.
Oh, that was huge. Keeper's Verdict get a 3-man knockup. The Moonlight Vigil comes in and does a little bit of damage on the backside of that. Xiaopeng goes Ultra. They try to flash in with the Slicing Maelstrom, and the fine Rookie Zoom with the massive play to turn that one back around. Top Esports not done yet.
Yeah, and
Zhuo, very good time. That was perfect timing, if you do want to say the road. As you can see now, Karsa is pushing back this Rift Herald and going to smite it away. So they won't be able to get the pressure in mid, but the Dragon will go over to Top Esports. They'll stop the stacks.
Yes, that's the important thing in this situation. Ultimately, Top V5 end up going for an aggressive play, and as much as it was flashy, right, Karsa getting the triple knockup, it wasn't really that influential, right? It's like you knocked him up the Keeper's Verdict. What follow-up is there? And I think the thing is, like, he ends up so far ahead. He Chemtech souls forward. If PP God could get an ult follow-up, that would have been the difference. I actually think he should have just ulted Jackie Love there instead of trying to dredgeline Xiaopeng, because they end up have to back off. And now they've burned so much to get in range, it's easy for Zoom to fly over and just blow up Rookie. They end up cleaning up PP God as well. Super favorable to them. And I feel like V5, you had everything you needed going into this play, and you end up throwing it away, stopping the Chem Soul stacking. A little bit unlucky. And we talked about this mid lane matchup, right? Rookie being ahead, Rookie being more relevant. Knight has caught up. He is now 2-0-1 in this Corki. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what happens in lane. If you're playing Corki, you're going to be broken.
Now Knight can find Rich, who has got the Gwen. And they're going to probably force the flash out. Yep, there it is. Knight now without that summoner for any potential fight happening in, I don't know, maybe 3 minutes, 50 seconds. As Knight, Rookie, I should say, pushes in towards that top side. Drops on the Chaos Storm, and actually Zoom needs to be very, very careful. The rest of Top Esports are roaming up, but as are V5. So, Zoom, you are safe, but not that safe, and Karsa will just absorb a Solar Flare and back himself away. While that's all been happening, V5 will be able to push in mid, they will be able to push in bots, so they're getting some good, decent trades, and V5 know they're at a very powerful point. They've got the Rapid Fire on the Jinx, they've got the Riftmaker on the Gwen, they know they can take fights right now.
And the lane assignment just favors them so heavily, right? Rookie would be able to bully Knight out, but against Zoom can't do anything against a Victor, right? He's just zoned, choked out, has to back away. And Rich, he's threatening Knight. Whenever Knight steps up, if there's a Porcelain Doll in a brush, Rich will just be there, ready to jump on you, and then can cut you down. And as a result, it's like Top Esports are just losing pressure around the map gradually. Despite the fact that the Corki's doing well now, it's just this 1-3-1 setup isn't favoring them.
It is not favoring them, and that's the big thing right now. So V5, yes, they did lose out in that fight, very over-aggressive in that regard, but they are not taking this one lightly. It is still only a 500 gold lead for Top Esports. There's still 2 dragons here for V5. Rich, not a lot of mana. And not a lot of places to go. As Zoom and Xiaopeng, I have seen this combination before. The Slicing Maelstrom will probably be committed. There it is. Look at the stones down. We will see Rich almost trading this one back equally. As I say that, oh my god, he's going for it. One more auto attack. The Ignite's ticking, and he'll get the healing from it as well. Xiaopeng should be able to turn this one back around, but it's still a 1-for-1 big win for V5, and they know there was 2 people bought.
Oh my god, Rich does it. He manages to kill Zoom. They're not going to be able to do the ban. They're going to back off. Too much poke from the Corki. But Rich, man, I have not enjoyed his play this series. Game 1, a little bit invisible, but he finds the 1v2 turnaround kill. Love to see it. And that's why you got to respect the Gwen, man. That champion is unreal bonkers. And especially in those close range skirmishes, Kennen has damage, but it eventually is going to run out. And the Gwen will just keep healing, keep dishing it out.
And that's the big thing as well, the healing. You mentioned it there. No grievous wounds available for anyone on the side that was in, of Zoom or in Xiaopeng. So
no, not on anyone, to be honest.
Not on anyone's yet, to be quite real. You do have an Excite on Zhuo, so Zhuo will have that eventually. But yes, that lack of grievous wounds to stop that massive healing you get from the Gwen on the Riftmaker is going to be pretty significant. As we saw there, was able to trade it back 1-for-1. There will be no objective taken by, people on V5. They threatened the Baron, but the rest of Top Esports were in position. And yes, it's a great game from Xiaopeng, 100% kill participation, 2-0 and 3, but this is starting to feel like the momentum is switching back onto V5. Similar again to Game 1, Top Esports come out the gate swinging, able to get themselves into the ascendancy, but V5 crawling it back and just feel more comfortable. And speaking of being more comfortable, Jackie Love, he gets slowed, but Xiaopeng is in tow to make sure nothing bad happens.
Making sure to just ward them up. But V5 being aggressive, pushing up, using the Chem Fog to their advantage, trying to get control of the area. 50 seconds of that Dragon. Again, 2 in favor of V5. Secure that, they're on soul point, and it becomes so delicate then. Because anytime, it's like, even if you win a fight, if V5 secure the soul, they have it for the rest of the game. So you don't want them to get to 3.
Here we go.